Let me make sure I got it. Excellent. Hey, Chief of Staff, go ahead, sir.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the FAU conference call information line. My name is Yonah L. I am the FAU Chief of Staff, and today is Sunday, May the 1st. I have the pleasure of being interviewed by Carlton Brown of the Carlton Brown Foundation in Cincinnati, Ohio. Carlton is also the Director of Community Sales for FAU Chamber of Commerce in Greater Cincinnati. For the purposes of this interview, we are meeting on our conference line. That number is 712-770-4010. The code is 761-568#. That conference line number again is 712-770-4010. And the code is 761-568#. Each night at 9 p.m., we have a topic of discussion. Current topics for discussion are Sunday night, Martin Luther King, Making Peace as Profitable as War. Monday night, W.E.B. Du Bois, Leadership. Tuesday night, Women's Night. Wednesday night, The Business of Africa. Thursday night, Men's Night. Friday night, The Council of Elders. And Saturday night, Marcus Garvey, A New Pan-Africanism. Again, my name is Yonah L. I am the FAU Chief of Staff, and now on with interviews by Mr. Carlton Brown.
Yes, hello everyone. This is Carlton Brown, the president and founder of the Carlton Brown Foundation. Yes, sir, Mr. Yonah L. We are reporting right to the people, to the latest updates of what is going on with the FAU. You know, what are they doing right now? You know, they've been around for a while, and they're working on the economic destiny of all the people. And now I have the great honor and privilege to interview the Chief of Staff of the Friends of the African Union, who will be a person who will be in the lead of the economic destiny of all our children to come. Mr. Yonah L., I'd like to ask you a question about starting off with FAU Women and the New Women's World Bank, because I believe that there's no greater love than the African man love for his African woman. And your plan absolutely shows that. Could you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Yes, we have the FAU as a mission to the United Nations, and we have proposed a women's bank. That bank will be funded with an initial outlay of $200 billion for investment in women's businesses of all types that are accessed through the United Nations. We're looking to open up our first branch of that bank there in Harlem, in New York. Sometime later this year. Don't have the exact date, time for the opening of the branch, but we do have the location fixed. We're still working out the details. Now, that fund is part of a larger program wherein that we have partnered with the Bank of Bermuda, and we have established something called the FAU dollar. It is a cyber currency, and it is on a par with the Bermudan dollar, which is the same as the American dollar. It allows us to do something which we call declaring our economic independence. And when I say economic independence, I'm speaking of the fact that we as African Americans generate $1.2 trillion in revenue every year. But because of the way that we spend that money, only 2% of it stays in our community. Because we only own 6% of the businesses in our community, we have a very, very low rate of return in our community. So what FAU has done is we have placed an unsolicited proposal on the president's desk, and we have requested the president use the same monetary policy that he used in 2008 to save the full faith and credit of the government. At that time, he bailed out the banks. Now, he still has authority to do that while he's president. And we requested that over a period of 20 weeks, that he releases $200 billion a week trillion for an investment into the black community as a part of a program that is already set up, already in place, that will address institutionalized systemic racism of this country.
Absolutely excellent, sir. I have another question about the journey of no return. You know, I was listening to a call and I heard about the journey of return from FAU women and also from Queen Mother, Dr. Queen Mother Dolores Blakely, our governing princess of FAU, New Future Foundation, joint venture in the United Nations with Friends of the African Union. And can you tell us a little bit about her needing the million women and what FAU Women is doing?
At present, we have a mission there at the United Nations. Queen Mother Blakely with New Future Foundation has a network where we are working with the FAU women, well, from youth as well as the FAU women. Our group is planned at present. I believe they're scheduled to go to Korea. First, we're going to be at the United Nations from the 16th, 17th, 18th until the 22nd. We'll get the United Nations, and then we'll be there in Long Island at the Huntington Hilton, and then we'll be meeting with the African Union there at the Hampton Inn in Washington, D.C. Well, as part of this program, we're working with the women, and we have an opportunity for them to travel to Korea for an education summit, and from there on to Taiwan. So these different programs are active and are presently in place, and we need women to participate. There's a lot of openings, so if a woman's interested, she can simply send us a request, and we can plug them in. There is a process. You have to be cleared by the United Nations. Once you do, then we can make that happen. We're looking to make more opportunities available for all of our people of African descent. You had mentioned the Art of Return. We talked about the Goree Island project. We're looking at a situation wherein that we're looking to make funding available for those of our people who want to return to Mother Africa. Whether they want to do it just for a visit, just to see what happened and come back home, or if they want to actually make a pilgrimage, or if they really would like to relocate or repatriate to Mother Africa. And we're working to make that happen, to make that a reality for those who want to make that, either that pilgrimage or that journey, either way. And that's some of the things we're doing. But there's a lot more. What I suggest, people have more questions or comments, they go ahead and come on the call, one of the nightly calls. That number is 712-770-4010, and the code is 761-568-pound. And then we can actually engage them one-on-one and give them more specific information.
Yes, sir. That is absolutely powerful. I know my soul cries out for that type of change. One thing I agree with is another thing is the My Brother's Keeper initiative. When President Obama and also the chairman also states, there's a sense of hopelessness. That people believe it can't change. And I understand that because I live it myself. It's true. And, your leadership and other people connected to FAU and the things that you are doing is providing that light that says, no, it's not true. And yes, it can be done. So I want to ask you some questions about My Brother's Keeper of Africa and the over 700 million young people that it affects, and just an update on where is it at right now, and just a brief summary so people can call into the call-in show and ask questions and find out more.
In February of 2014, President Barack Obama put an act into executive order called My Brother's Keeper Initiative. My Brother's Keeper, which was initially designed to address the issues of young men of color, African American children, to address their problems. But it was later broadened to address any trouble use problem. But it's basically this: children should be able to go to school from cradle to college to career in a crime-free environment. It says that a child should be able to enter school. They should enter school cognitively. They should go to school. They should graduate, and when they come out of school, they should go to academic college, vocational college, or enter to a job training program that led them to that first job. And that should all be done in an environment free of violence. Now, in order for that to happen, what we did was we took a clear look at that, and we rewrote that in the form of My Brother's Keeper AAA, My Brother's Keeper and African American Alliance, My Brother's Keeper in Africa, Asia, and the Americas. And our program specifically addresses the problem of the African American youth, those of African descent. And it says that in order for that child to enter the school cognitively, and by the way, Dr. Raspberry from Mississippi came on our call a few days ago and explained the problem that he had with children who were entering school, and they were not competent. They were literally not competent to be at that level, and they were getting left behind. And then in the middle of the year, the children were held back a year rather than having them properly prepared. So My Brother's Keeper is a program where we look at these situations where we can make sure those children are properly prepared, so when they enter school, kindergarten, they're ready to go to school. They're ready to learn. In addition to that, we've looked at the study and we've determined that in order to train a family of 4 in the latest technology for 1 year, means with tablets, with the latest technology, internet, all of that, family of 4, it costs less money to teach 2 parents and 2 school-age children that technology than it does to keep a 16-year-old in detention for 30 days. And we base that on statistics here in the city of Atlanta. And we've got our programs up and running to implement it right now. And this program, again, I'll say it again, for what it costs to keep a teenager in juvenile detention for 30 days, we can train a family of 4. That's 2 parents and 2 school-age children. We can teach them the latest technology for an entire year. So we're looking at reallocating these funds to implement these types of programs. Our program says that in a family where that child needs to go to cradle to college to career in a crime-free environment, that requires an investment of at least $100,000 into each one of those homes. And these 27 million homes, we need to put that money in that home in terms of job readiness, in terms of transportation, in terms of such things as making sure that the parents have adequate clothing, making sure that there's no paint, no lead in the paint, making sure that that home is properly prepared. They have good air conditioning in the summer, good heat in the winter, making sure that that parent has an adequate career, that they have the ability to raise that child in that environment, in that good nurturing environment. That means that sometimes those parents will have to be retrained to take some of these good jobs that are out there to start out paying $50,000, $75,000 a year. But these parents don't know about the jobs, they're not properly trained or qualified, so we put the training process on the table so that they learn that within 6 months, those parents are ready to go and take those jobs and provide a good nurturing environment for those children. So that's our take on My Brother's Keeper, which he passed in February of 2014. Now, in December 2015, he signed another bill called ESSA, which is Every Student Succeeds Act. And that addresses the problem in schools that are failing. And around the country today, a lot of schools are failing. They got problems. You have opportunity school districts where the government's going and trying to take over these schools, trying to do something to change it, privatize the schools. ESSA is a law that allows us to address that, to make sure that we go in and we take control of those schools ourselves and make sure that those children are properly educated with our mindset, the proper way, so they get a good understanding of who they are, their culture, heritage. And that's extremely important, because without that, these children will grow up in an environment where they suffer from something that Dr. Wade Nobles called a shattered consciousness, a fractured identity, because they grow up in a mindset where they've been marginalized. They've been taught things in a way that do not address their specific problems. So we want to make sure these problems are addressed and that our people recognize the complications that face us, these special complications, and we address them in an effective manner. Our policy is for our people to declare their economic independence. And that's so important because when we talk about such things as slavery, slavery was never meant to be a racial program. Slavery was an economic problem. It was an economic ploy. And today in our community, it's still happening. We are still being exploited economically. That's the reason when you go to our store, our community, and look around, all the stores are owned by other people who don't even live in our community. But they come in our community and they extract our wealth. They take our wealth out. The new form of slavery. And we have to change that. Only we can change that. And we have a very, very detailed plan to map it out and show how that works. And we want everyone to take a look at this plan and see if it's something you can buy into. If it is, you should get on board and work with us. If you don't, then by all means, show us where you think it's wrong and help us correct it. We don't need to talk problems anymore. We all know the problem. That's what the best solution, and that's what we're doing at FAU.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That, like I said, I am just honored to, and I see why you was chosen to be the chief of staff of FAU, because your guidance and wisdom and to the facts and to the reality and future and economic destiny of all our generations to come. And it reminds me of an African proverb that says, if everyone does a little, it means that one does not have to do a lot. And before you know it, we'll cross an invisible line and the impossible will manifest. So I want to ask one more question, sir, to me, Chief of Staff, Mr. Yonah L. And then also, after that question, you also leave the phone number and your contact information to the people where they can contact you on social media and things of that nature. I'd like to ask you a question about the Council of Elders, and also, are you ready to start organizing these Council of Elders structures throughout the United States and also throughout the world? So can you answer that question, please, sir?
Yes, I'd like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to answer these questions. I'd like to invite anyone who has some information or they'd like to inquire for more information to reach us out at our website. Our website is au6.info. That's au, the number 6.info. au6.info. That is what we call our Cliff Notes version of the website. Very short website. There's not a lot of information there, but there's a lot of good, pertinent information there. Also there you will find a link to us via email, which is at info@au6.info. Also, you will find another website listed there, which is fau2063.blogspot.com. Now that second website, fau2063.blogspot.com, takes you all the way back to 2012 when we were first called by the African Union. It explains about the 5 Legacy Project, the fact that we are organizing our people as a people so that we can declare our economic independence, so that we can stand up the African dollar, we can stand up our people as a nation, we can stand up our own Visa cards, we can stand up our own cyber currency, so we can take control of our communities, turn our communities into communities. So right now we live in neighborhoods because we don't own things. We want to change the dynamic where our people own our communities, where we own the homes, we own the schools, we own the businesses, we own the infrastructure. And all this is possible, and we're working on those details, and we're sharing that with everybody over the next 6 months. Now, in terms of the Council of Elders, that Council of Elders call happens every Friday night at 9 o'clock. And I urge everyone to come on these calls often, listen and ask questions, participate. The Council of Elders is being set up as we speak. Anyone who is over the age of 60 is an elder. You're welcome to become an elder. If you have a certain credibility, you can become a high elder. And if you're as young as 55, but you have certain skills, then you can also be considered to be an elder. The purpose of the elders is to look at the problems in our community and address them in the form of solution-based programs. We do this on a national level, we do it on an international level, we do it on a regional level, on a state level, and a local level. All of these have different aspects of elders happening in them. And the purpose is for them to oversee the elders, to oversee what's going on in our community and implement suggest policies and procedures, processes that will help address that complication. We're also looking at a national rites of passage program to make sure that all of our youth have a standardized process wherein they are trained from the time they are born up to the time they're before they're 12 years old. We understand the history of our people, understand their culture, education, the culture, history of our people, who we are, where we came from, how we got here. Not this whitewash stuff, not this BS that plays itself as history. We want true stories of what really happened, to lay it out so that people understand they're effectively prepared to deal with problems in our community, our specific problems, so that we can stand up our nation, do things we have to provide our people, our children, and their children's children with a better future, a better opportunity for life, and quality of life. People can say what you want to about living. Living is only part of the situation. It's living a quality life. That's what it's all about. We're going to make sure that our children have good quality of life.
Yes, sir. I'd like to thank you for your time today, because it's very, very valuable, especially you and the chairman and Mr. Fred Hargrove, our president of the Chamber of Commerce, Governor Princess Ukajai, our CEO, and also Mr. Robert Lee Harris, our foundation at FAU. We'd like to thank y'all and many others who are seen and unseen, who have worked tirelessly to bring the people to this point where we're at a point where we're about to see the economic freedom of the African American people and the people in the newly now 6th region of the African diaspora, the 6th region of the African Union. Because in Africa there's 5 regions. There's North, East, West, South, and Central. And they created a 6th region in 2012. So shout goes out also to the chairman, Mr. Herschel Daniels Jr. And sir, could you please leave the phone number again, and the access code, and maybe some contact information, so that the world can reach out to you and let you know and thank you for the excellent work that you are doing.
Thank you. There's a lot of information, too much for us to be able to go over in such a short interview. So hopefully we'll get a chance to do this again, and we'll follow up. And people that need information, they'll be able to follow up as well. They can reach us at info@au6.info. Our website is au6.info. You can contact us any night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time by calling our conference line. That number is 712-770-4010. That number again is 712-770-4010. And the access code is 761-568-pound. That access code again is 761-568-pound. And every night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have a different topic. Sunday night is Martin Luther King, Make Peace Profitable as War. Monday night, W.A.B. Du Bois, Leadership. Tuesday night is Women's Night. Wednesday night is the Business of Africa. Thursday night, Men's Night. Friday night, Council of Elders. And Saturday night, Marcus Garden, the New Pan-Africanism. And we love to share with people any information they need, what we're doing, how we can work together as a people, as a community, to make our lives better for all of us, regardless of what your personal preferences are, what your personal religion is, even if you're an atheist, whatever. No matter what your political views are, we as a people must unite. We must unite to address the problems, deal with the complaints and problems that face our people, the unique problems that only we can solve. Again, I thank you very much for inviting me on, having this opportunity to speak with you. I look forward to doing it again soon. Have a wonderful evening.
All right. Thank you, sir. And I'd like to leave y'all with this. Hey, Remember, I am you and you are me, and we love you.